tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about restarting the self-love journey. So today's day one. We're going to be talking about suicide and hope. Tonight is about suicide and hope, and I'm going to play a video right now about a young man who survived suicide. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about why that's important. We're going to talk about why it's important to never give up on yourself, why it's important to never doubt yourself, why it's important to always maintain that aroha for yourself right here. Because you're worth it. You're talented, you're worthy, and you're loved. And I'm telling you that when we can start to believe those things, awesome things are going to happen for us.
Far too many lives traveling the path to this day.
Since 1937, over 2,000 people have died at the Golden Gate Bridge. I feel lucky to be alive every single day. Of the thousands that have died off the Golden Gate Bridge, I am of the 1% who have survived. So I was born on drugs and premature. And then I bounced around from home to home. Nobody wanted to keep me because I was sick. And I got lucky. I landed in the home of Patrick and Deborah Hines. I had a great childhood. I thought growing up that everything's gonna be great. And then at 17, it all came crashing down. If you can imagine feeling that everyone around you is out to get you, trying to hurt you, and trying to kill you, and you believe that to be the truth. From the extreme paranoia, I exhibited symptoms of mania. From the mania came the hallucinations, both auditory and visual. And so with that and the bipolar disorder, I just was spiraling out of control. I vividly remember writing my suicide note. People don't get it. Like, I thought I was a burden to everyone who loved me because that's what my brain told me, because that's how powerful your brain is. I got off the bus. I walked slowly down the walkway of the Golden Gate Bridge. You know, people rode by me, drove by me, walked by me, and a woman approached me, and she said, "Will you take my picture?" She said thanks, and she walked away. It was that moment I just said, nobody cares. The reality was that everybody cared. I just couldn't see it. I ran forward, and using my two hands, I catapulted myself into free fall. What I'm about to say is the exact same thing that 19 Golden Gate Bridge jump survivors have also said. The millisecond my hands left the rail, it was an instant regret. And I remember thinking, no one's gonna know that I didn't want to die. In 4 seconds I fell 75 miles an hour, 25 stories, and I hit the water. I was in the most physical pain I had ever experienced, I have ever experienced. The Coast Guard was amazing. He was just so freaked out that I was alive that he just dove in and brought me on board. The guy said, "Do you know how many people we pull out of this water that are already dead?" And I said, "No, and I don't want to know." The guy put his hand on my forehead, said, "Kid, you're a miracle." My father took one step into the hospital room, and I looked up at him and I said, "Dad, I'm sorry." And he said, "No, Kevin, I'm sorry." And if you think about it, both of our immediate reactions were guilt. Guilt that didn't belong to either of us. And even though I didn't die, I caused people a great deal of grief and pain. Just the day of my attempt still sits within them today. I asked my father if he still feared my death by suicide. He said every time the phone goes off, his first inclination is Kevin alive. I had that impact on my dad. So after the jump, the road to recovery was pretty long. I had 7 psych ward stays in the next 11 years. I still have all the symptoms I ever had. Mania, depression, psychosis, hallucinations, all that's still there. I just know how to cope with it and I know how to beat it. I built a support network over these years of treatment so that I wouldn't be fighting this alone. So like, it's okay not to be okay. It's not okay not to ask for someone to back you up. To the families who live with the loss or losses of loved ones, they didn't do that to hurt you or destroy your life. They took their lives because they were struggling and in a great deal of emotional and mental pain. Suicide, mental illness, and addiction are the only diseases that we blame the person for perpetually. But people die from suicide just like they die from any other organ diseased. Today, no matter the pain I'm in, no matter the struggles I experience, I do believe that life is the greatest gift we've ever been given. And if you're suffering mentally, don't wait like I did, sitting in denial for so long. Because recovery happens. I'm living proof.
We share a similar corridor. The corridor is that there's always hope. And I love how he said, he said, the symptoms are all still there, but I just learned how to cope with it. And that's my message. It's hard, but we learn strategies and we move forward and we can still find happiness. Everybody in this life has struggles. Nobody is immune to hard times. Nobody. Not one single person is immune to hard times. But we have to build that support system. So I'm going to play the next video, and many of us have seen it, but we're going to watch it again. Here we go. They sound a little like redundant, but why are we in black and white?
Kaweho, there is no wrong questions. Currently, James is feeling anxious and in a depressive low.
I don't know what that is.
Well, James lives with anxiety and depression. So, sometimes he's triggered, which means that he experiences both at the same time. And for him, it looks black and white.
That sounds pretty heavy. Well, what happens when someone's in this situation?
Another good question there, Ho. Let me show you. Turn to your right.
You are a loser. You are talentless. That wasn't nice.
Have a look at your left.
You have nothing to offer. You're worthless. There's really nasty things to say, but I'm confused because that's his voice and he's saying it.
You were right there, Ho. However, somebody has said it to him. And because he lives with these things, they take place in his head and his heart, and they stay there.
So, you saying we just hear in black and white, listening to nasty things people are saying about him? Man, that's just think right for me, but if he's stuck in there, that's no fun at all.
Well, not quite. Let's take a look. Let's see what he does. This young fella's pretty resourceful.
Is colour seeping back through?
What are you that? You want big friend.
You're an amazing husband, an amazing father. You're my best friend. You're our whole entire world.
Man, that was really lovely.
Hey Dad, love you. You're the best dad ever.
Wait, so what he's saying here?
That there's always hope, Eho, and with any adventure there's highs and lows. But as you can hear, he has things in place to remind him that he is worth something.
Man, that's cool. Oh, well. That's my stop, and yeah, I'm out.
The young fellow left his phone.
Alright, so just another video, and the video highlights the fact that what goes on in our head and the importance to build a support network around you to look after you, to have your back. The hard times are there. They're not going to go away. That we are not immune to hard times. We are not immune to trials and tribulations, to struggles. We're not. It's just the reality. But what's really cool is that we can build a support network and a team around us that can have our back. And with that, and through that support system and these strategies, we can make it through. And I believe that a lot. And it's cool about the first video. Really significant part that maybe no one else picked up on, but his instant regret. suicide is not a disease. It's a decision. You can't regret a disease. It's out of your control. But you can regret decisions. And when he said he wanted to live it, like he instantly regretted it. That's prevalent because, whānau, we want to live. We want to be happy. So let's do the mahi and be happy. On the good days, let's work on our mental health and well-being. I put some links to some good resources. One is depression.org.nz. You know, it's not perfect, but it's a good start. And I just think that the road to recovery or to good health is balance and an understanding of who we are and what we have to offer the world, so that when your Percy's, and I'll talk about this at our next stream and I'll explain that, when the mental illness or the thoughts start kicking in, I'll feel like, I'm talented, I'm worthy, and I'm loved. And you'll not drive my thought process towards a decision that I don't want. You will not put me in a decision, in a compromising position that makes me make a bad decision. You will not. You will not. Because I'm talented, I'm worthy, and I'm loved. That is the message that I will harp on about, that message forever. We're out here battling, but we got it.